What is going on out there in Pimpy Nation? Welcome back. Hey, look, man, there's all kinds of interesting things happen. And I'm not talking about the coronavirus. That's right, there's other news besides the dang coronavirus. Good Lord, man. But meanwhile, hey, look, I got a question for you. Are we in the process of a global currency reset? I bring that up because I keep coming across some interesting articles, and it's just not happening in one country, it's happening in a couple others. But we'll get over that in a second. But meanwhile, over in Iraq, what the hell is this? Great CGI work, I'm guessing, you know what I mean? Huh? First of all, why the hell would people be screaming and crying? You know, they'd be so baffled by it and amazed. They wouldn't be screaming and crying. Anyways, I'll leave the link inside the description for you guys to have a field day with this. Come check this out. Anyways, it's great work, whoever did it, but it's definitely ridiculous. But I thought it was funny. Okay, as a quick reminder, as usual, if you haven't already, let me encourage you to come into our Facebook group, Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same as the YouTube channel. There is a link to this group inside the description of the YouTube video. Just go down below and click it, and it'll take you there. If you have a Facebook profile, then you can go ahead and join. It's free. All right. In addition to that, people keep asking me about cryptocurrencies. It's a good time. They're really low. Buy on the dip. So, you know, there's a link. You can follow that link and it'll take you to where you can start you can open up an account with cryptocurrencies and buy some. And if you follow the link, it gives you a free $10 to get you started. All right. So let's get a crack-a-lackin' real quick here. There's some good things going on here. Okay. So one of the things is it looks like Iraq is talking to Russia. Let me see here about coming back to the OPEC Plus meeting and seeing about, ending this oil war. We know a lot of the countries outside of Saudi Arabia who seems to have no problem with doing an oil war because they have the money to hang tight and fight. There are a lot of countries that would be severely damaged if this was to go long term. Anyways, the spokesperson of Iraq Ministry, Jihad, confirmed that his country had succeeded in bringing the views between the two parties' concerns to hold a meeting of the Ministerial Committee for Production Control and a meeting of ministries from inside and outside the OPEC in order to restore balance to the global oil market. All right. So earlier, Moscow had rejected a proposal to increase production cuts from its current level of 1.5 barrels a day until the end of the current world. Now, I know I'm not reading this right. Let's try this again. Wrong. Moscow rejected a proposal to increase production cuts from its current level by 1.5 million barrels a day until the end of the current world. So this might be what's going on here. This might be the new world. And so what they're saying here in the article is, look, man, Moscow's saying, look, we're not willing to cut levels until after we get through with the old world. And then when we get to the new world, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and cut productions. I know I'm not reading this wrong. So, of course, hey, Russia, more power to you. Before we swap worlds here, you're refusing to reduce... They're refusing to reduce their oil production until the end of the current world. So, okay, meanwhile, back here on our planet, they might know some crap that we don't know, okay? They are the government. They might know what's really going on with this coronavirus. So anyways, well, let's see if Iraq can get them back to the table and see if they can go ahead and somehow convince Moscow to reduce their oil production until the end of the current world, and then maybe continue it on over to the old world. All right, anyway, so, Iraq, it's get back to being serious. I just think that's funny. Anyway, so Iraq's talking about getting it back into the table. Let's start negotiating and end this oil war. All right? All right, what's going on in other news that I think is interesting is this. Remember I was talking about one of the things that Iraq needs to do is start developing their agriculture. Okay, they really do. They can't just keep relying on what's going on with the oil production, especially with the ending of the new world. Okay, the old world, all right? They really need to step up the production. Anyways, this goes on to talk about there's no shortage of agricultural crops in Iraq while they're dealing with this whole coronavirus thing. Now, this is interesting because for some reason, this has been brought up in the United States. It has been brought up in Japan as well as other countries. Their agricultural people are coming out saying, look, stop panicking and hoarding food, going to the stores. There's no food shortage. We have more than enough food, okay? So I just thought that's interesting that they would all of a sudden bring up an article expressing concerns when this all happened at the same time. What I mean by all happened is I noticed that a lot of these countries said the same thing to their peoples. And I thought, So we know that they're hoarding food here in Iraq, just like they're hoarding it here in America and everywhere else. People are scared. And they're definitely hoarding toilet paper. But I don't blame them. You know what I mean? I would be hoarding I'd be crapping too if I found out we're about to end our current world and move over to a new world. Anyways, sorry, I can't help that. That's just funny. So anyways, so this article is just reassuring the people. Now, I had read a report it must have been about 7 months ago, saying that the agriculture in Iraq was, not as far along as it should. This article seems to say different, which I like to see. And as a matter of fact, if you go over here again, here's another article. Okay, 5 traders control the fate of Iraq. Okay, the Ministry of Agriculture revealed that 5 merchants control the fate of Iraq regarding import operations and setting prices, stressing that the ministry faced pressure throughout the year regarding the decision to prevent imports. So what they're trying to do is they're saying, hey, we want to ban imports of agriculture. We need to develop our own country. And he's saying that these 5 merchants it's kind of in their hands whether or not they're going to do this. Okay, so I'll leave the link for this article. But again, their agriculture isn't as bad as it is. But it'd be really nice if they did do some type of banning for now and focused on themselves. This is the same thing Trump said to Americans. Look, we can't help other people till we help ourselves. And this is what he was talking about in these trade deals and blocking the borders and stuff. That's what all these countries need to do, is take freaking 5 minutes to stop. Focus on your own people first and foremost. All right? Just focus on getting your homeless people sheltered, the hungry people fed, the people that need clothes clothed. Focus on your own people first, and then we'll talk about what we could do to help one another. So Iraq's saying, hey, we need to circle the wagons and do the same thing as well, okay? So not too bad at all. Now, this is interesting. Iraq is in a good position to pay off their external debt. I thought this must have happened before the oil wars, this article. This must have happened before the coronavirus. No, this article just came out. Now, mind you, the articles we have been reviewing are saying that they're stressing about what they need to do to cover the retiree accounts and those who are relying on what we call entitlement programs, welfare, cash aid, the whole 9 yards. But this article goes on to say, hey, in this case, Iraq is going to be in position this year. This year, they're going to be in a position to do this, and that is pay off their external debts. Whoa, we'll take it. Because if they pay off their external debts and they take care of their external creditors, guess what? Again, that allows them to develop a more healthier country, okay? Let's see here. He pointed out border markets tend to take on more credit risk than prevailing emerging markets. However, it does not necessarily follow the validity. The volatility is higher, especially for local currency bonds. Border bonds in local currencies are less accessible. Yes, I'm stumbling with my words again today. Sorry. And required very careful analysis and oversight, which some international investors may be unwilling and unable to implement. Sorry, I won't drink so much wine before I start talking to you guys again. Anyway, so look, right now, this is good. We don't want them to continue to take on external debts. These guys now are focusing on taking care of their external debt, and then they would have more money to focus on developing their own country. We've been talking about this now for well over a year. Iraq needs to rebuild their infrastructure, okay? They definitely need to get on that. They definitely need to start doing whatever it takes to get their own people hired, get them back to work, stop them from protesting, get them into jobs. We need to see this happen. Okay, now this is why I think there might be some kind of global currency reset happening. Okay, so the Arab Monetary Fund published a study on generalized basic income. Now, for those of you, we here in America, and they talk about a lot in California, we heard Andrew Yang talk about there should be some type of, you know, basic type of income for people of low money making. You know what I mean? People don't have a lot of money to make it more fair. You know, find a way to balance off between what those who don't have versus those that do have. And so in here it talks about this. Now, for those you don't know, I spoke about this in other videos before, and that is the International Monetary Fund is talking about creating their own single currency that they can use amongst Arab nations. And this article goes on to talk about it. But they are talking about giving down what they call a universal basic income to people, all right? And that's to help close the gap between those who have and those who don't have, all right? Give everybody a fair chance at a decent living. Now, why I say a global currency reset, this is something that's being studied all over. Now, over here in Stockton, California, they did a study. They started giving certain individuals who were low income, the government was paying them $500 a month. Just giving it to them, to see what would happen. Would this help them make wiser decisions? Would they blow the money? I'm curious to see where that study comes out of. But anyways, this article is really long, and they go into how they're going to cover different basic incomes for people. It's very, I like the article. It's very unique. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on for all you guys to go ahead and go through here and read, because it does touch about how they need to even out their currencies amongst the Arab nations. All right. And again, these are all the Arab nations that are part of the Arab Monetary Fund, and Iraq is one of those nations. Okay. So, the reason why they talked about it in the past about them guys creating their own, it's called the Arab accounting dinar, and how they came up with the rate of the Arab accounting dinar is you take the SDR value, whatever it is. I believe it's at 174. And I was telling people multiply times 2.5, but I was wrong. It's actually multiply times 3. I know you guys, some of you guys might be curious what it is. So let's just look real quick. See the SDR rate. So what is the rate currently? So right now the SDR rate is US pound 172. Is that right? So this is the rate, $1.73. So you take the $1.73, right? And then you multiply it times 3. That's what we're going to do. And this would be the rate for the Arab Accounting Fund. And the reasons why they need to do this is because most of these guys have trade agreements with countries that are competitive with one another. And not to mention the fact that some of these currencies for some of these countries have a higher exchange rate than others, which makes it really hard for the Arab nations to actually do business with one another. The Arab Monetary Fund is trying to eliminate that hurdle that's in the way of everybody. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave this article for you guys to check out. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button, because this right here is not just happening with the Arab Monetary Fund. This is actually being studied all over. So is this that Gisera or Nisera thing we're talking about? Is this part of the global currency reset? Because look at all the countries are talking about basic income. These programs of basic income, partial income. You know, they're in countries including, look, I told you this, the United States, Finland, Canada. Look at this, India, China, Brazil. So this is being studied everywhere, and I encourage everybody to come here and check this out, all right? Let me know what you think, man. Smash the like button, all right? Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I tell you one thing that's impressive about you guys that I absolutely appreciate, and that is this. I have about 5,100 subscribers, but I average about 4,500 views on my videos. And man, that's a really high mark, and I appreciate that. I just want you to know, I know you guys have other options, but I do appreciate when you come to check out my videos, all right? Smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so. I have some up-and-coming shows that if you guys are not subscribers, you're not going to get the notification, and you're going to miss out on some real, true, not fake insider information, but true inside information, all right? All right. Talk to you later. Bye.